Everyone, I am Dr. Garima Gupta, working as Assistant Professor at Sri Ram Sarup University, Lucknow. Today we will be discussing about the next part of spermatogenesis. Till now we have discussed the introductory part of gametogenesis, in which we discussed about the formation of gametes, either it could be sperm or ova, the basics of it, and we discussed that how the spermatogenesis begins with the role of various hormones like testosterone, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormone. So, the process of spermatogenesis or the formation of sperm is divided into three parts. First is mitosis, then second one is meiotic phase, and the third one is post-meiotic or the shaping up phase. So in mitosis, first of all, at puberty, the type A spermatogonia, which are the stem cells of sperm, they get divided mitotically and forms two types of cell. One, again, the reserved cells to maintain the number of type A stem cells which get stored in the stem cell niche. They are called as type A spermatogonia, and the other one is type B spermatogonia. So these type B spermatogonia will be further converted into sperms, and this all occurs at reaching the puberty in the male. Now from type B spermatogonia, mitosis occurs and it makes more number of cells which are called as primary spermatocytes. These primary spermatocytes are diploid in number. The first phase of spermatogenesis would be over, that is the mitosis phase. Now these primary spermatocytes will go in the next phase, that is the meiosis phase. So one primary spermatocytes will form two secondary spermatocytes by the meiotic division 1, meiosis 1. So these secondary spermatocytes are haploid in number, and these secondary spermatocytes will further go under meiosis 2 and they will form four daughter cells, and these four daughter cells are called as spermatids, and these spermatids are oval in shape and they don't have motility. Now these spermatids will undergo the next phase of spermatogenesis, which is called as the maturation phase. In the maturation phase, further the shaping up of spermatids will take place. Like from oval structure of spermatid, it will form a protruded and spherical structure of sperm, and they will get the motility also, and the formation of spermatid to spermatozoa is called as spermiogenesis. So spermatogenesis is a different thing, that is the whole process of formation of and the maturation of sperm, while spermiogenesis is just the conversion of spermatids into spermatozoa. Spermiogenesis simply means the transformation of spermatid into spermatozoa or the maturation into sperm, but the complete maturation of a sperm takes place only inside the female body during the process of fertilization. This we will discuss later. Now here we will see that how a spermatid, which is of rounded structure and unflagellated, get converted into a spermatozoa, which is spherical in structure and it is flagellated also. Actually, spermatid has four main structures, that is, it has nucleus, it has Golgi body, centriole, and various mitochondria. So the process of spermiogenesis takes place in major three steps. First of all, the head formation of sperm takes place, in which all the water gets removed from the nucleus by the nuclear cap, and after that DNA start packing with the histone proteins. So the chromatin get tightly packed and it becomes transcriptionally inactive. All the RNA or DNA which is not linked with the transmission of hereditary characters is removed from the nucleus. Now the nucleus start getting the shape of sphere, and now to this spherical nucleus Golgi bodies start and they secretes glycoprotein granules called as proacrosomic granules. This form a large vesicle which is attached to the nuclear membrane, and this part is called as acrosome. It is at the anterior pole of the nucleus in the form of a cap. Sperm head having acrosome is very important to gain entry inside the oocyte, secondary oocyte, as this acrosome is containing various kind of hydrolytic enzymes which is important for penetrating the oocyte outer wall and required for fertilization. Now moving to the next part, that is the construction of acrosomal cap. In this, the cap is formed by the coverage of Golgi vesicle around the sperm nucleus. Now the nucleus will rotate and it will face towards the basal lamina of seminiferous tubule. The remaining part of Golgi apparatus will be reduced and discarded as Golgi rest along with the waste cytoplasm. In spermatozoa, acrosomal core is in between the acrosomal granule and the nucleus. This acrosomal core helps in dissolving the egg membrane and help in fertilization process. Now the next step is middle piece formation. In this, what happens, the cytoplasm start moving gradually towards the caudal end or the posterior end of the sperm. Now mitochondria will form a clump like structure around the axial filament or the proximal centriole. This clump like structure is also called as mitochondrial bodies. It is spiral in shape and this forms the middle piece of the sperm. This middle piece of the sperm and the posterior part of head is covered with a cytoplasm condensed layer called as syncyt. It also has a dark ring called as ring centriole, which makes a boundary between the middle piece and the tail. In case of mammals, there are certain fibers which start from the middle piece but they do not reach up to the end of the tail. Now the last part of spermiogenesis is formation of tail. There are two centrioles which are of cylindrical shape. They are present right angle to each other. Now they will move towards the caudal pole of the nucleus, that is the posterior part of the nucleus where the formation of neck region has taken place. Now one of the centriole get placed in the depression present near the caudal pole of the nucleus. This centriole is called as proximal centriole, which is at the right angle of the spermatozoa main axis, and the other centriole will take the position just behind this proximal centriole. This centriole is called as distal centriole. The distal centriole is responsible for the formation of exoneme or the axial filament. So axial filament, further the development of tail will occur. Flagellum originating from centriole get extended into the lumen of seminiferous tubule. These exoneme contains the microtubules and they are arranged in 9+2 fashion, like in case of bacteria. 2 are present in the center and then they are surrounded by 9 outer doublet microtubules. So this is the structure of tail. Finally, the process of spermiogenesis is over and further the maturation of sperm will take place. The maturation of sperm takes place in the male and half of the maturation takes place in the female body during the fertilization process. The excess cytoplasm or the residual cytoplasm of unmature spermatozoa get detached from the sperm as the membrane bound structure called as residual body. These residual bodies are phagocytosed by the surrounding Sertoli cells and then the spermatozoa are released in the lumen of seminiferous tubules. This whole process is called as spermiation, and now the sperm are mature but they are still immotile or sterile in nature, after which they are transferred to the epididymis by the peristaltic movement, and there they gain the motility, because for fertilization muscular contraction is the most important thing rather than motility. Now, sperm has got a glycoprotein coat which prevents the fertilization. So, there are certain factors which are important preventing fertilization. So, there is a process called as capacitation, during which this glycoprotein coat and other things which are preventing the fertilization are removed, and finally the complete maturation of sperm takes place. But this process of capacitation occurs in the female body. There are certain other proteins like fertilization promoting proteins FPP and heparin which helps in the removal of coat, and thus the sperm can bind to the zona pellucida layer of egg. During the fertilization lecture, we will learn about the capacitation process as well as the other things which are involved in promoting the fertilization process. Now, this spermatogenesis is controlled by environmental factors also and by some physiological factors also. Temperature, light, hormones, psychological state, pituitary gland secreting gonadotropin hormone plays an important role in the whole process of spermatogenesis. Now, spermatogenesis is over, moving towards the next process, that is oogenesis, which is the formation of female gamete. So, in the next lecture, we will study about the process of oogenesis. Thank you so much for your patience.